Okay, today's focus is about queries. Uh, it's important for database. Also on the functional skills, you need to do queries and you need to do reports. So it's important for uh, both units. Okay. All right. At the end, you have to be able to define query. Being able to define it is very, very important. Yeah. Identify types of queries. Okay. Even you don't necessarily have to do all of them, but we are going to speak about how many types of queries are they. You are at the beginning part, yeah, but I'm going to mention all the different types for now, and in the future also we are going to visit queries, yeah, and we'll do some of those. So identify the different types of queries, but at least you need to be able to describe. You need to be able to describe how many of them? 2 of them. There is a difference between identify. Being able to identify is to mention them. Being able to describe is it's like you are trying to paint with words. Yeah. So you have to have that level of understanding about queries. So identify all the types of queries and describe at least 2 of them. Be able to query a relational database, create a query. Okay, it's not going to be based on me telling you click here, click there. It's going to be based on you understanding how the query is done. How do we design a query? Okay. So the first question is, what's a query? Okay. If you see here on the left, what do we have on the left hand side? Maria, what do we have on the left hand side there? Can you see? We have here data, and here what comes out is the useful information. Yeah, the data, it's useless until we put it into context. Everything we do right from the first week is with a reason. It's interconnected. I'm gonna repeat them. Repetition is one of the way of the best way of learning. Data is what goes in and comes out information. The best tool that actually converts the data into information is a query. Okay? It's a way of extracting useful information from a database, providing more useful information in a way we want it. Okay? It allows you to pull out just the data you want or just the information you want in order to be able to action a task or produce required information. Okay. So the parts of the information you want, it will give you that. It's a way of processing or putting it into context so that you can produce useful information. With queries, you can retrieve, the information you want. Maria, I really would like you to switch off your monitor and come here, please. With queries, you can retrieve information, the one you want, or combine from more than one table. You can combine them, reuse the data. Okay, reuse, analyze your data. Yeah, for example, you can calculate the maximum, the minimum, just like in a spreadsheet. Yeah, you can total. You can use queries to retrieve data from multiple tables, not only from one table, but from multiple tables. Or you can use it as a source of information for forms and definitely reports. Samira, try to focus, please. Queries express the questions you want your data to answer. You ask a question, the database would answer it using queries. It is useful to write the objective of the query. If you know the purpose of the query, yeah, then you are able to actually come up with a query design. Yeah, this is my aim, you being able to design it. Oh, this is the criteria I need, these are the tables I need for this query, these are the fields I need for this query, this is how it needs to be sorted, I need to do this calculation. You have to be able to say that. So this part is crucial. It's useful to write the objective of the query in a sentence first. Yeah, when you are clear of what you want, then you can arrive there. Samira, I'm mentioning your name again. So once you are clear, you can actually design the query without any problem. Okay, the different types of queries. The sun is, well, I can't see it clearly here on my screen, but there, the first one is, what kind of query is it? We have select query, and another one, parameter query, cross tab query, action query, and SQL query. Alright, it would be extremely fantastic if we get the moments to be able to appreciate the SQL method. Okay, it's not for this level, yeah, but with this group it might be possible. Yeah, it might be possible. Select query. Select query is the most common query you are expected to do within this course. Okay, retrieves data from one or more tables and displays the record set in a data sheet. This is the most common type of query. You can also use select query to group records together and calculate sums, count, average, and other types of totals. So they come under totals, and you can do calculations within select query. So select query, within it, even though it's the most common one, it's not trivial, it's powerful. Yeah, for most of the informations we require, we use select query. Okay, so the limit is not just specifying the criteria, it can do calculations. Yeah, it can group, it can calculate sums, average, yeah, and other types of calculations. Parameter query, for example, let's say we have a database and Nawaf's name is in the database, so we can create a query just for Nawaf. Then we now need to search for Fatima, yeah, and then for Yosef. Do we have to create one query for everyone? We can, but what we can do is enter first name. We say enter first name, and the user would enter, I'm gonna search for Maria, or I'm gonna search for Paul. Yeah, so the person who is being searched, it would be typed. That kind of query is parameter query. Okay, prompt the user to enter values that define the query, such as a specified region for sales results or a specified price range for houses. Cross tab query, arrange a record set to make it more easily visible. Yeah, using both row headings and column headings. Okay, this one is a bit more advanced, but if anyone is interested to know more about it, on our YouTube part, yeah, there is a section for that, for cross tab query. Yeah, all right, and depending on how well we progress, I can do an exercise. But for anyone who wants to get more information, cross tab query is there. Yeah, but it's a bit above the level. Yeah, action query. Action query is an interesting one. Creates a new table or change an existing table. So you can use a query to create a table. Did you know that? Yeah, you can actually do a query to create a new table. For example, if we decide to set up a football club from this class, we could have a class database, then we could create another table for the football club, yeah, for those who are interested to play football. Mahbuba would be one of them. Oh, she's gone. Okay. All right. Uh, it may include make table queries, delete queries, update queries, append queries. Okay. What we have to do is mainly select queries and parameter queries. But if you do more, I may be able to set up an exercise for you on action query. Yeah. I would encourage you to look at action query first. Yeah. And if you have more time, the cross tab query. The action query, you are more likely to be asked to do it. You know, maybe at higher level. Yeah. So if we get time to do that one, it would be nice. But at this moment, what I want you to appreciate is the different types of queries. Yeah. And we'll do some of them. SQL query. You can use SQL to create a database. Do you know what the SQL stands for? Anyone? SQL. HTML stands for what? HTML. Hypertext markup language. Now, what HTML is for websites, SQL is for database. Structural query language. Structural query language. If you search it on Webopedia, you'll be able to get the definitions of it. Some people pronounce it SQL. Yeah, some people pronounce it as SQL. Yeah, all right. It is there on, you just have to search for SQL and SQL or SQL. It's out there on the on Google when you search. This is probably the main thing we have to learn to be able to create a query. How do we design a query? How do we decide a query? Okay. It is, you can't see it there, but you all have a printout. Yeah. At the top, what do you write first? What is the first thing we should write? Milad, what is the first thing we should write at the top? Have a look at on the handout. The name of the query. Just writing the name is the start, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Samira, I can't change. Instead of the whole class, only you. Alright. Okay, so the first thing we should write is we need to give it a name. And you know how you design a web when you create a website? Yeah, you need to do the storyboard, yeah? For a query, you need to design it that way as well. Yeah? You need to give a name first. Okay, attention. Then the next part is to write the purpose. Okay, I have a template for you here, but this query will use you write the name of the table. Gives the name of the table that this query must search through to find records that match the search condition. To search the records matching the following conditions. So what you are going to say is, really, let me tell you in English. This query will search table, say member, booking. Yeah. For those members who are over 20 years old. Okay, so when you put it that way, you know what criteria you are going to work on. Yeah. List the search conditions. What criteria? Yeah. List the search condition, the criteria for the query. Criteria is a big part of query. To find the matching records. These fields you need to be displayed for the records that are found. Yeah. So what we are saying is, really, let's